Combined security operatives kill 67 bandits, rescue 25 victims in Bauchi. Troops arrest 3 prison escapees, kidnappers in Plateau, Kaduna State. Abuja passengers groan as fuel prices increase. And away from Nigeria, 900 Israelis, 700 Palestinians killed in renewed offensive. These are the headlines on Trust TV News Update at this hour. I am Ayuba Ile. Thanks for joining. Now the news in full. Combined security operatives have neutralized 67 bandits and rescued more than 25 victims in captivity around Lere Forest of Tafawa Balewa local government area of Bauchi State. The second Lere, Jamilu Bawa, disclosed this to the state governor and service chiefs during an on-the-spot assessment visit to the affected communities in the area. Trust TV's Adamu Imam was there.
Armed banditry has continued in some parts of Bauchi State, with Tafawa Balewa local government area not spared. The Circle Lere says the success recorded in the area is as a result of collaborative efforts among security agencies with hunters and vigilante groups in the area. He further explained that the operatives engaged bandits in gun duels several times. Security personnel always support us, and this led to the killing of 67 kidnappers that usually block our major roads. We also rescue more than 28 in the hands of captives, waiting for ransom of 10, 20 to 30 million naira before they were to be released. This happened without paying a penny to the bandits. We thank the police and the governor for the support we get from them. The state governor, Bala Mohammed, appreciated the courage exhibited by the security men and supported them with 10 million naira cash and 30 motorcycles. He appealed to federal government to support the fight against bandits.
We are calling on the federal government to also support us. The fact that we are keeping quiet does not mean that we are all hale and hearty. We are taking the brunt. As they are working on the side of terrorism, we are getting the backlash. And that is why, because we are surrounded by 7 states, we are a gateway to prosperity, and we are also a gateway of criminality. Our security agencies are overstretched, that we are working together with minimal support. I will definitely make a case to the federal government, whatever support they are giving my colleagues in the Northwest to come and give us here.
The State Commissioner of Police, Awal Mohammed, emphasized the need for synergy between security agencies and called for more efforts in tackling any form of insecurity in the state.
I want to reassure the state governor and all stakeholders in this issue of security, as it concerns all of us, that we will try to continue to maintain a peaceful environment, and we assure all the stakeholders equally that we'll continue to do our best.
Adami Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Troops of Operation Safe Haven on Operation Hakorin Damisa 4 have arrested 13 criminal suspects in connection with kidnapping, prison break and cattle rustling. The operation was also said to have recovered arms, ammunition and illicit drugs in various operations. According to the spokesperson of the operation, Captain Oya James, he said that the arrested 3 prison escapees included Chekirmak Tapir, Semakong Tapir and Swarong Tapir. The tactical team of the operation had arrested a notorious kidnapper, Buba Ibrahim, at Tilden Fulani village in Toro local government area of Bauchi State and recovered 1 Beretta pistol, adding that troops recovered a total of 279 cows and 6 sheep for farms destruction across Bokos, Mangu, Riam and Zangwa-Kataf local government areas of Plateau and Kaduna states respectively. A total of 13 arrested Arrests were effected. 4 victims rescued from kidnappers, 1 cattle rustler arrested, 7 drug peddlers nabbed, 2 attacks on vulnerable communities deterred within the period, and 23 distress calls promptly responded to. The operation, however, assured the good people of Plateau, Bauchi and Southern Kaduna of maximum protection and continued prompt response to all distress calls with a view to protecting lives and property, which remained paramount and foremost in the operation. Now, since the implementation of the fuel subsidy removal, residents, especially drivers and travelers, have been facing difficulties occasioned by the increase in the price of PMS, popularly called petrol. In this report, Kabir Lawal speaks with operators of different parks in the FCT and brings us their take.
The removal of fuel subsidy has made transportation costs to increase, a situation most residents consider as unfortunate. The National Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW in Abuja, says it has been receiving complaints from passengers on the continued increase in transportation fares, adding that parks have also been affected.
First thing is just a small gram damaged business. So since it removed the subsidy, all things are not the same. The places they normally go, that kind, 12,000 naira or 12 or 15, have raised to, I can say, double. So it affects business, it affects economy, cost of living. Way be of 18, we normally collect something of 5,000 naira, has gone up to 10,000 naira.
Things have already changed in the park and not the way it used to be. We are not finding it funny at all. Whenever we tell travelers the cost of transportation, they will just change their mind and most of them go back to their houses. It is rather unfortunate for us now, and we beg the people in government to come to our aid. Drivers on their part further explain that aside the increase of PMS, prices of spare parts have also increased due to the removal of fuel subsidy in the country.
Passenger now, even we take them, we tell them see the money we carry, then we say, why be so? We say na fuel, then we say to concern them, and they know how we go do. We go press ourselves to carry them like that, because we don't know how we go do. If we leave them, then we'll still suffer, then we'll run go house.
Passengers at the park also complain that the transportation fares keep increasing, a situation they said is unfortunate.
It has really been bad, really, because I'm a student and we used to take it before at the rate of 1,500, 2,000 naira. But now I have to pay 5,500 just to go to Kogi. That is just, it's never up to 3 hours.
The money I am using now for my transport fares is not encouraging. I used to buy my wares at a very low price, but now it has gone up and has actually affected my sale. Times are hard, and we are calling on the government to do the needful.
Both drivers and passengers are calling on the government to do the needful to enable businesses thrive in the country. Kabir Lawal, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, Mele Kyari, says there is no supply challenge that will warrant the return of long queues to fuel stations. Kyari, who spoke with journalists at the State House in Abuja on Monday, refuted claims that fuel subsidy had returned to the country through the back door. Kehinde Amodu reports.
It has been very difficult for Nigerians to adjust to the removal of fuel subsidy. So when they see queues returning to some petrol stations, they get alarmed. But the group CEO of the NNPCL believes there is no cause to worry.
There is no challenge. Supply is robust. We have over 1.4 billion liters of product in our hands, both marine and land. And also that there are no issues around delivery of those products into the land. So there is no fear, nothing to bother about.
So why are there queues at some fueling stations?
There are a number of blockages on our road, crossing products from the southern depots into the northern part of the country, and it takes them much longer time than they do now. They have to reroute the trucks around many locations for them to be able to reach, and that created delays, and that created some supply gap, but that has been filled, and we do not see any of such problems again.
Kyari insists that the petroleum sector is fully deregulated, which is why petroleum marketers are now pricing their products competitively.
The full deregulation that we have in this sector, marketers are now competing amongst themselves. So one, you must have noticed some fuel stations will reduce price by 2 naira and 3 naira. So customers will naturally run to the places where you have that reduction in prices. But we're also happy that the market forces are now playing out and marketers are competing. And of course, there are a few issues we're engaging them to resolve alongside other agencies of government.
The most important question to answer is if fuel subsidy has returned through the back door.
I told you there is no subsidy whatsoever. We are recovering our full cost from the products that we import. We sell to the market. We understand why the marketers are unable to import. We hope that they do this very quick, and this is some of the intervention government is doing. There's no subsidy.
While government struggles to stabilize fuel pricing, the NNPCL Group CEO admits that the task would be a lot easier if there is a stable foreign exchange market. From State House, Abuja, Kehinde Amudu, Trust TV News.
Nigerians have continued to express divergent views on the recent virtual judgment by the Governorship Election Petition Tribunal in different states. A cross-section of Kaduna residents who spoke to Trust TV say that the development, which is new to them, is raising eyebrows among Nigerians. The report.
It started from Kano, then Kaduna, to other states in the country, and very recently Nasarawa. Some see virtual judgment adopted by tribunals as a welcome development. Others feel it is a move that may tamper with the integrity of judiciary.
Initially, we are not really used to this kind of passing judgment. We are not used to it. We are new to it because what really happened in Kano is also a very shocking moment to me. Because imagine a judiciary passing judgment via online.
It's a welcome development. And perhaps if you look at the situation at hand, most of the courtrooms are always filled up and there's no even ventilation. And, for that, adopting that means of using Zoom, to me, is something good.
It is one of the fundamental rights enshrined in our constitutions that the hearing and delivery of judgment or announcing the decision of the court is enshrined to be held in public. On another hand, like in the Electoral Act, it says in open court.
According to a Kaduna-based legal practitioner, Elizabeth Abubakar, virtual judgment are within the rules of court.
There's nothing wrong with the delivery of judgment by virtual means, because this is agreeable by the rules of court. I think there's a deliberate effort to make the National Assembly to enact a rule that can afford these courts to generally adopt virtual proceedings in their courts. In future, you will even see that most of the arguments by lawyers will be by virtual proceedings, except in criminal cases.
It was speculated that the judges opted for virtual judgment due to death threats issued to them by politicians, especially in Kano. However, Nigerians are skeptical about the new drift.
We wouldn't want to blame them, because if anything happened in another way around, whereby the opposition are not, are not okay with the judgment, anything can happen.
As for example, what happened in Kano State, there was also a curfew. That's to tell you the security agencies are capable and ready to provide the necessary security for the interest of justice if those judges have requested the police and other security agencies to provide those security cover for them to deliver what is expected of them.
No judge will be given that kind of threat and the judge will leave the environment, because the judges have access to the security agencies. In fact, in Kano, based on that threat by a commissioner and a special advisor, if the judges had wanted, they will petition the Inspector General of Police, and he will bring a DIG to Kano to safeguard the court if they are delivering judgment in court.
While some are of the view that the recent delivery of judgment virtually is questioning the integrity of the judiciary, Elizabeth Abubakar is of the view that to maintain its integrity, the judiciary needs to clean its house and deliver justice. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Kano State Governor Abba Kabir has flagged off distribution of palliatives to beneficiaries in the 44 local government areas of the state. At the distribution of the items which held in Government House, Governor Kabir says that the distribution is part of his government commitment to ease the suffering of the people in the state. Trust TV's Idris Zibrin reports.
Trucks loaded with bags of rice waiting to be distributed to people across the 44 local government areas of Kano State. It is part of the state government palliative distribution program comprising of 99 trailer loads of rice and 77 trailer loads of other grains in addition to the 5 trucks of food items donated by the federal government.
You may recall that during the flag we distributed over 52,800 bags of 10 kg rice and also over 52,800 bags of 10 kg meth across the state. I'm equally aware that since that event, people have been looking forward to this day when the general distribution of the palliative materials will continue. Today, therefore, I am happy to say that we have distribution of all the 484 wards are vulnerable groups.
According to the governor, the distribution will cut across all the 44 local government areas of the state. Policemen and all other junior officers within the security agencies will also benefit from the distribution.
Committees, especially the one at the ward levels, have been working very carefully to select the 400 households that will receive this assistance in their respective wards. I am therefore calling upon the state and local government compliance committees to ensure that those that have been identified and selected are the ones that will receive this.
Meanwhile, all representatives of the local government councils are directed to ensure that the less privileged members of the society get the palliative. Idris Jubrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Coming up shortly. Parents lament high cost of school fees, education materials. Details and more after the break.
Are you interested in the latest news and developments in Nigerian politics, policy, governance and other critical national issues? Look no further than Daily Politics on Trust TV. Our panel of experts and key people in government provide in-depth analysis and commentary on the biggest stories in Nigerian politics.
And 33.3 million Nigerians are suffering from multidimensional poverty. It's a much calmer Buhari than the Buhari who was in the khaki uniform.
Naira to Naira exchange rate is higher anywhere in the world. The Naira is higher than dollar exchange rate. So you want to...
Since central bank governor you're doing, you must do it fast. The number of casualties we have had, we shouldn't have had. Security as far as Nigeria is concerned, we have wronged.
From the inner workings of government to the latest on legislation, rule of law, implementation and democracy, we have you covered. Don't miss out on the latest political news and discussion. Tune in to Daily Politics, weekdays on Trust TV, your source for reliable and unbiased coverage of Nigerian politics.
Welcome back. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Let's take a look at the top stories. Combined security operatives kill 67 bandits, rescue 25 victims in Bauchi. Troops arrest 3 prison escapees, kidnappers in Plateau and Kaduna states. Now, elsewhere, the federal government says that the suspension of the NPower scheme is to give way for its restructuring to enable it better serve the beneficiaries. It is also to give way for a proper audit, as several beneficiaries from 2022 have complained about not receiving their 30,000 naira monthly stipends in the past 9 months, according to the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation. Chamun Dabeng reports.
The NPower scheme was rolled out in June of 2016 and was targeted at addressing youth unemployment and promoting social development. Since its inception in 2016, 960,000 Nigerian youths have been enrolled into the NPower scheme. However, the federal government has found reasons to suspend the NPower scheme indefinitely. According to the National Program Manager of NPower, preliminary findings have shown that some consultants are holding on to the beneficiaries' funds, prompting the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs to carry out an investigative audit of the last 12 months.
Definitely the investigation will not take long and the payment will soon resume. The Honorable Minister has identified the need for restructuring of the program so that more training can be granted in the areas of education, in the areas of agriculture.
Some have speculated that beneficiaries have failed to report to their respective places of duty but still receive their monthly stipends, showing an obvious leakage that needs to be blocked. Equally, as Nigeria's economy worsens, many worry about the capacity and purchasing power of a 30,000 naira stipend, with some stakeholders calling for an increment of the stipend upon the return of the scheme.
What she intends to do is to make sure, number one, she ensures sustainability of the program, in the sense that there is monitoring, there is M&E with this restructuring of the NC program. There is project manager for monitoring and evaluation. That person will monitor what is happening within the NPower, whether the beneficiaries are reporting at their primary places of primary assignment or not. But I believe with the current economic situation, as I was speaking with the project manager of NPower, Mr. Akindele, they are looking into all this.
Nigerians have been reacting to the development, though with mixed responses.
So if she wants to reject it, I think it's a welcome development. It's a welcome development. I think I support the suspension for the time being to see how it can be rejected to actually capture more youths.
If they are suspending it, fine, but suspending to do what? Because from what I heard, they are going to suspend it and bring their own list. So it sounds like no more Peter but Paul is coming.
Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation plans to restructure the scheme, stating that their target is now 1 million Nigerians every year for the next 5 years. The ministry also plans to increase the age limit of beneficiaries from 18 to 35, 18 to 40, amongst other plans. Chamun Dabeng, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The current economic hardship in Nigeria has taken toll on the education sector, with tuition fees increment and hike in prices of textbooks and stationeries, among other things. In Osun State, residents lamented that the current economic situation has incapacitated most parents from paying school fees of their children. Hamid Oegbade reports.
The current economic hardship in Nigeria poses serious challenge to the nation's educational development. Many parents are finding it difficult to pay school fees, buy school uniform, textbooks, and stationeries, among other items needed to retain their wards in school. Parents are lamenting that schools are increasing tuition fees at a time that their businesses suffer setback after the removal of the fuel subsidy.
Me as a parent, it's not been easy, honestly. And like last time now, their school fees was like 10,000 naira. and this time it's like 15,000 naira. See the difference. It's somehow costly, and stock of the textbooks, it's somehow sharp.
It's not easy at all, but we don't have choice. We need to send our children back to school. The economy is hard, everything is too expensive. Likewise, now the school payment has been increased. The school fees has been increased.
Like me now, I'm a single mother, so I'm the one sponsoring my son by myself. So the school fees is quite more expensive. Like assuming like last week like this, I paid like almost like 117,000 naira for just 7 years old son.
A financial expert, David Awotikpe, advised parents on budgeting and planning according to their earnings to avoid needless financial burden so as to cater for the education of their children.
Schools are getting more on the increase, the fees are getting more on the increase, coupled with the fact that you need to pay for some school, you need to pay for new uniform, new textbook, and the tuition fee. So the best advice is for people to pay according to their pockets, and you just have to adjust your finances. I'm so too sure that the financial situation in the country for now is not as expected, and the best bet for now is for everyone to cut your finances according to your ability.
An educationist, Olayinka Ramata Karim, said indigent students could leverage on scholarship opportunities and that parents could also opt for instrumental payment of tuition fees.
The economic situation is so unbearable for many parents and stakeholders, sponsors of students. So in particular, what Fountain University is doing is to make payment of school fees very, let me say, very easy for the parents.
Given the importance of education to national development, government at all levels are expected to address impediments to learning and facilitate access to education for children and young adult Nigerians. Amid Oyegbade, Trust TV News, Oshogbo.
And away from Nigeria, death toll in renewed offensive stands at 704 Palestinians in Gaza and more than 900 people in Israel as the Palestinian Ministry of Health calls for a safe corridor to ensure the entry of urgent medical aid into Gaza's hospitals. Israel continues bombardment of the Gaza Strip overnight, hitting residential buildings. The bombing came after Israel announced a total blockade on Gaza, including a ban on admitting food and fuel. Now, such a siege by the Israeli army with the intent to starve a population is a war crime on the United Nations statutes. Hamas's surprise attack on Saturday came after Israeli settlers stormed the Alaska Mosque compound in recent days, and a record number of Palestinians were killed by Israel in recent months. And that's a wrap on the news update. You can watch more via all our social media platforms and also on our YouTube live stream. I am Ayuba Ile. Thanks for watching.